Building an email list is hard, so you probably aren't doing it. And yet email marketing continues to be the best marketing tool out there for any small business. So let's talk about why it's hard, why you're resisting, why you should do it anyway, and a few key steps to take so that you can be successful with this without driving yourself crazy. I'm Pia Silva, founder of No BS Agency Mastery, where I help 1 to 2 person branding agencies scale to $30,000 to $50,000 months without employees and cutting your working time down by up to 80%. And one of the ways that we're able to scale so profitably and build up to such a high price point for such a profitable offer is because we have fans that we nurture over a lot of time, fans that I nurture without ever having to show up. And one of the best ways that I'm able to do this is with my email list. I know you've heard this, and yet you're still probably resisting. Why? You probably feel like me, completely inundated with marketing newsletters that you are annoyed with, that you just want to go to spam, unsubscribe. Why are these emails filling up my inbox when I have more important things to do? I get it. I feel that way too. And I'm sure you don't want to be just another spammy email in your client's inbox. You probably also feel like it's really hard to get people to subscribe. So I'm going to put all this energy into writing these emails, and then I'm not even going to have anybody to talk to. What a waste of time. Maybe you haven't started your emails because you just have no idea what to write, and writing is hard. It feels like everybody's saying the same thing. So what could you possibly have to say that's new or interesting? Plus, aren't email newsletters just a little too salesy and a little too tacky? You're classier than that. You don't want to bother people with sales and asking for them to buy from you. I get it. I get all of it. I feel the same way too. I don't want to bother people with spammy emails. I don't want to be salesy or force people to read things they don't want to read. Who wants to be annoying? Not me. Here's the big idea. I want you to listen really closely, because if you get this, it's going to completely change your perspective on email marketing forever. The point is not to send people salesy newsletters that they don't want to read. Anybody who is receiving emails from you and they find it spammy, they find it not valuable, they think you're salesy, they're going, ugh, why is this person offering me to buy things from them when I don't want them? Guess what? Your email newsletter is not for them. In fact, we want them to unsubscribe as quickly as possible. Who's your email newsletter for? The people who are excited to get your newsletter. The people who are excited when your name pops up in their inbox because they know that they're going to read something interesting and valuable, something that's going to give them an aha moment, that's going to make them think just a little bit differently today. That's the only person your email newsletter is for. And yeah, in the process of building your list, you're going to have those other people on there. Some people might even be a little bit nasty when they unsubscribe and say, ugh, I hate these marketing emails. Good riddance. Get out of here. It's not for you. It's only for the people who want to be your email fan club. And this is what I teach people inside No BS Agency Mastery when we build the authority machine. How do you build an email fan club? You go out and you find the people who are hungry for the information you have to offer them. And then you deliver tons of value in your email. You make your email the email that they save and star and put in a folder for later if they don't have time to read it and consume it right now. That's what you want to be in people's email inboxes. Now, you might be saying, yeah, but emails are so annoying. Who has time for that? I promise you, we all have time for email marketing. We all have emails that we get in our inbox that we're happy to read. For example, I might not open every email from the New York Times Food, but when I do, I'm really excited about the recipes that they are sharing with me. I have gone back to the food and wine email that I received that had 21 seafood grilling recipes. I've gone back to that email 100 times because I keep looking for more recipes to make. It's valuable to me. And even when I don't open every single one, I don't unsubscribe because sometimes I get a lot of value out of it. And the benefit of them having an email newsletter that is going to me is that they are staying top of mind. I am thinking about them all the time because they are popping up in my inbox, even if I just don't read most of them. Now, there are other entrepreneurs and thought leaders whose emails I do read more often because they have great writing. They have great insights. Dove Gordon is somebody's email that I read a lot. You guys might not know Dove Gordon. I interviewed him on a podcast of mine. Definitely go into my archives. We had a great conversation, but he writes a lot of emails, quite frankly, on the same topics that I write emails on. And that's why I love it, because he will bring up an idea that I've also thought about, written about at some point, and he'll remind me of it. He'll remind me, yeah, that's a good point. I have to start talking about that again. Brilliant. I'll never unsubscribe from Dove's emails. And no, I don't open every single one, but it doesn't matter. I think of Dove as an authority. I bring Dove up a lot because I see him in my inbox. And if I didn't see him on my inbox so often, then I probably would eventually forget about him. He stays top of mind and he positions himself as an authority in my network. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Well, there's 3 things that I want you to take away from this video that can help you start building an email fan club of your own, one that is nurturing people in your world so that eventually when they are ready to buy, it's a no-brainer. They're going to say that you are their number one choice. The first one is counterintuitive, especially if you're worried about being annoying. I actually want you to up your frequency. I email my list every other day. Oh my God. And the first time I thought about doing this, I thought I was insane. Like, who wants to hear from me every other day? Guess what? A lot of people don't. A lot of people will just unsubscribe after a few emails and say, this is way too much. I don't care. That's totally fine. No offense taken. I'm probably not your cup of tea. You probably don't like what I'm saying. But guess who doesn't unsubscribe? Guess who loves hearing from me every other day? People who are getting value from my newsletter, 1 to 2 person branding agencies who are struggling with the things that I help solve. I get emails every single day from people who just say, thank you so much for this email. This was really eye-opening. Wow, I hadn't thought of it like that. Thank you for this reminder. Those are the kind of emails that you want to send out because that's how you build a fan base. Number 2, share value in the form of stories. Okay, that's almost like 2, and I'm squeezing them into 1, but go with me here. Really effective emails are going to give value in every single email. That's what makes people want to open it. They want to get that little nugget of information. We want that dopamine hit. We want that aha moment that makes us think a little differently today or reminds us of something that's important in our business. But you don't want to just lecture. It's really easy to fall into the trap of, you should do this, you should do that. Let me tell you how this works. And there's a place for that. And certainly most of my content has that framing. But what I find is that what's going to be even more powerful if you can do it is to put a twist on it by sharing a little bit of personal story or anecdote or metaphor that will help take the idea and bring it to life and make it more memorable. So for example, I have this email where I talk about 2 designers. One of them works with everyone and one of them works with wine companies exclusively. And I tell the story of what their businesses look like. And then I tell the story of a client who is in the wine business and he was looking at these 2 clients. And I forget what their names were. I think it was Mark. I think Mark was one of them. Mark was the wine guy because let me tell you, this is a story that is demonstrating the idea of niching and how valuable it is to own an industry. Not that's the only way to do it. It's a different video. The power of sharing a story about Mark, the winery guy, and John, the generalist, is that it sticks in people's minds much more. People remember Mark. I remember Mark. I wrote this so long ago, and you have no idea how many people have emailed me back or sent me messages being like, I want to be Mark. Thank you for this. It finally got through to me. Give value, but bring story in to not only make it your own, to make it more interesting, to own it, because God knows I'm not the first person to say that you should niche in order to have a valuable business, but sharing a story is how I'm bringing it to life and making it my own so that it's my content and also connecting with the reader. And number 3, maybe most important, I don't know, they're all important. Number 3 is make sure that you are always telling people how they can work with you and who you work with and how you can help them. It's not icky to have a call to action. In fact, I have a call to action and a reminder of how I help people and who I work with in every single email I send out. No, it's not the top of the email. No, my emails aren't all pitches. In fact, 95% of them are just value. But at the end, I always say, hey, by the way, did you know that this is who I help and this is how I help them? If you're interested in getting help from me, here's how you can get that help. Bam, here are 3 things that you can do to get more value from me. We are running businesses here. And a lot of people, because they are so worried about being salesy, don't tell anybody that there's anything for sale at all. How are we supposed to know that we can buy from you? The number 1 way to increase your sales is to make more offers. Growing an email list is not the first thing you should do when you're starting a business, but it is one of the most important if you want a long and sustainable business that is only going to increase in value, increase your ability to charge more, and to increase the leads that you get without having to go out and actually find them all the time. Building an authority machine is the crucial missing piece, and an email funnel that builds an email fan club is a big piece of that.